Good morning, everyone. I hope you guys can hear me well. I also hope that the music volume is okay. All right, new week, new opportunities. New week, new opportunities to make the most out of the blessings that we are given. All right, so enough with the talk, okay? What are we looking at today? By the way, if there is anything wrong with the music, the stream in general, just go ahead and let me know, okay? I don't know, you can ping me on Telegram or whatever. Okay, so let's see what we're looking at today. A lot of movement, isn't it? Quite a lot of movement. And there seems to be like a lot of, I don't know how to call it, but I like, there's like a lot of extension going on gold right now. Extension as in there's, I don't know. It's just, it seems to be reaching too high, isn't it? Anyway. I'm looking at silver, which is the right side of the screen, and I'm seeing a lot of sell side lower. There's also a lot of sell side on gold that I haven't marked. Oh, and by the way, the high projection that I was making, like I think during the last live stream, if I'm not mistaken, just look at that. It was this level right here, like 30, 80 something, 83 something, the one that I marked with my projection high. So that is, yeah, that pretty much already happened. So I'm just going to remove those drawings in here. Okay, so let's see what we have in store for today. I love the way silver is just looking to melt lower, and I would have loved to see gold do the same thing. The reason is because, like, the reason I'm not really, I don't know, I would really love to see gold starting to do the same thing, because if it won't, silver is about to sweep the sell side that it created during, I think it was Thursday, during the New York session, the New York low Thursday over here. Plus there's also that 1 hour fair value gap on silver, which again really seems to be like a magnet or something like that. The thing is that, like I was saying, I would really love to see silver starting, not silver, gold starting to make some move to the downside, because there is a lot of potential to move lower, and I would really love to see it do that before, like, maybe even sweep the sell side around here, you know. Or at least just retest this flip zone in here. That would really be amazing. Yeah. Like, really needless to look at this and see, like, the whole dynamic of today versus Friday. Like, if you look at Friday high over here on silver, and if you look at Friday high over here, or whatever here on gold, you're going to see that they're pretty, you know, like uncorrelated, right? I'm just going to mark this in here as a flip zone. And also this low would really be awesome if it could just pull through it. And we also have London low. The most attractive area that I am seeing right now for gold is the low of the Asia session. We've had also a nice SMT over there, which silver had already broken that. And this is a 15-minute chart, but I'll go to the 5-minute chart and see whether it broke that area whether silver broke that area, the low of Asia with a bearish fair value gap. Okay, not yet really closed. The candle, so the current 5-minute candle, it's another 2 minutes and a half until it's going to close. I really wouldn't want gold to just sweep this area in here. I would really love to see it do a run on sell side, not just a sweep sell side. That's what I would like to see it do. Yeah. Because if you also look at this whole area over here, you're going to see that it's just creating like, you know, relatively equal highs. But what I'm also noticing is the fact that it's very, very out of sync with silver, okay? Which means that whatever gold is forming at the highs in here, okay, it's actually, or it might actually be like a real resistance. And we might actually really see gold really wanting to go lower. 30 minutes chart. But like I said, I really wouldn't want gold to be left behind, you know, because look at silver and look at how much of advance it took in front of gold. You know, like it's really looking to go down. And look at all the sell side that silver is reaching towards this one over here. I really wouldn't want to see silver starting to reject right now, because if that would happen, then it means that whatever we're seeing here going on gold is just a liquidity sweep and not necessarily a run on liquidity. So honestly, I would really love to see gold doing like a run on liquidity and not a sweep. Yeah. But we'll see. Okay, so I trust that the sound and everything is proper, because otherwise I believe you guys would have said something in the chat. Okay, so gold right now seems to be, you know, willing to move lower. Yeah, okay, that's good. It's nice. I like the way it's developing. It's the way it should, honestly. Now, if I look at the 1 minute, I wouldn't want, to consider that it still has potential to go lower. I wouldn't want silver to invalidate this SIBI over here. Neither would I want silver to start creating a BISI right now, not even on 1 minute. And the reason for that is because it swept a lot of, it went under a lot of sell side, as it can be seen here. And like I said many times in my live streams, usually the transition from bearish to bullish or from bullish to bearish start from the smallest time frames first. So if the sell side that silver just took out would be used to pair it with smart money long orders, that would start to be visible first on the 1 minute chart, and it would start to be visible by silver either creating a bullish fair value gap at least, or starting to inverse a bearish fair value gap. So I don't want silver to create a bullish fair value gap, and I don't want silver to create an inversion, like a bearish fair value gap that now would not act as a resistance to send price lower, but it would actually be broken upside. I would definitely not want to see that. Now, maybe you're wondering why I'm wanting to see like a drop, a continuation lower rather than going up. Is because I am holding a short trade right now. I entered, I got filled at 3117.66, and my take profit is around 3104.50, something like that. Yeah. So I'm holding a short position. The reason for taking the short position is it's the SMT that you see here plus this fair value gap over here. I wasn't paying attention to enter once price started to reject from the bearish fair value gap with the 5 minute candle, but I saw that around or during the second bearish candles trading, which is this one. So my trade, and as usual, I will post the trade. So got filled at 3117.66, 1766, around the bottom of this candle, the 925 candle. Okay. And my stop loss was at the midpoint of this candle's body, 855. Okay. So I'm aiming for 3104.50, around here, something like this. And if that happens, I will make around a little over almost 3% on this trade, which is going to be awesome. But like I said, I would really love to see silver continuing to push lower, because if silver is going to start to reject, it's not helpful at all. Oh my God. I'm also kind of like looking at this low over here on gold. 10:50 p.m. Now I want you to look at silver, the same candle, which is right here. I'll mark this with pink, red, whatever, and look at the reaction that it had from there. Almost hit my TB, almost. Come on. Okay, I'm definitely gonna take some profit. I mean, yeah, I'm just closing the whole position right now. Okay, so it seems that silver reached like what was Friday open, I think. I don't know if you guys remember, but we were looking at, oh my God, just look at this drop. Okay, cool. I don't know if you guys remember, but during our last live stream, I've actually marked some levels from the daily chart. It was the daily bearish order block and Friday open, and I was saying that it looked as if silver was just gravitating in between those two levels, which are this one, you know, this bearish order block, and it was Friday open, which was this, which went down and then it was broken to the upside. Now I want you to take a look at this BISI over here that silver left behind on a daily chart. It's exactly where it's reaching for right now, and it made me aware that it would be a lot better to look for bearish trades. So after I've seen this SMT, oh my God, what did I do? No. After I've seen this SMT over here, I started looking for higher time frame reasons why price might actually be tending to go lower. And there's not a lot of obvious fair value gaps or liquidity levels that were pretty close to where price was. except for, of course, the low of the London session and the low of the Asia session. But I wanted a bit more of a confirmation. And if you look at the daily chart, you're going to see that silver had broken yesterday's low. And then where was the next area of sell-side liquidity under yesterday low? Because if we're going to go right now to a lower time frame, like I'm going to mark this in here with, I don't know, let's make it blue like this. Not blue, actually. Let's make it green. Okay, that line. So if we go, for example, to the 15 minutes chart, you're going to see that the way it broke here while we were in the live, and I've also said that I wanted to see whether price will create a bearish fair value gap, or if it's going to break Asia low with a fair value gap. And that 5-minute candle was still playing, but now it left this fair value gap behind. So this is basically telling me, however, you know, before creating the bearish fair value gap on the 5-minute, it definitely created this one on the 1-minute, which I've said a little earlier that I wouldn't want silver to invalidate should it continue to move lower. Not necessarily should silver continue to move lower, but rather should gold continue to go lower. The reason is because this is the fair value gap that was created as price was breaking yesterday's low, which is this blue level that we have here on silver at 33.900. Yeah. This was really quick and fast. And right now, gold has also reached discount of this last move that originates from the low of the Asia session. Considering that the overall trend is bullish and that it created this nice buy side liquidity in here, who knows, maybe we're going to start seeing it looking to go higher right now. And I'll also remove all of the sell side that silver already swept. Oh, and look at this. There's even like, oh my God, it even went under this area over here. And by the looks of it, it doesn't really seem silver. I'm talking right now, okay? The reason why I keep talking about silver is because overall, the trend on gold is bullish, okay? So whenever I'm looking to take a short trade against the very obvious bullish trend, I want to make sure that the indicator has not, the indicator in this case silver, the indicator pair, has not reached into a discount area or into an area where it would be considered like oversold, into an area where it had like a lot of sell side, and into an area that it previously moved up from, like, but in a very violent way. Okay, now the way I see it right now, there's equal parts of continuing to go lower and starting to go higher. What I would like to see right now, in order to consider that price might actually want to go higher from here, would be, I would want the indicator to, in other words, silver, okay, to inverse this fair value gap over here, this one, the 940, okay, on the 5 minutes. Another thing that I would want to see in order to consider that it would be safe to look for a bullish trade would be to start seeing my RBV setup on the 1 minute starting to develop. So that is not yet happening, but it's about to happen. So whoever's looking to get a long entry confirmation for gold, I would advise that you guys start looking on the 1 minute and start looking for an RBV signature bullish setup. So basically we just need a retest and reject from a bullish fair value gap on the 1 minute, which so far we haven't had that. Actually a retest and 2 rejection candles from a bullish FEG on gold on the 1 minute. But at the same time, like I said, I would really like to see silver turning this M5 940 SIBI into a bullish inversion. Coffee time. Oh my god, the phone fell off my All right, so let's see what the 1 minute is doing. Not creating a lot of nice opportunities to take a long. Look at the 1 hour SIBI on silver, the 1 hour BISI on silver, this one. You see? It's another, like in about 4 minutes or so, the 1 hour candle is going to close. So just imagine how this 1 hour candle looked. And look at how it's starting to look right now. It might actually just close back above the BISI, which might actually indicate that we could start seeing it go higher. I would have really loved to see a bullish setup being confirmed here on gold, but maybe we're not going to see that happening. Who knows? We'll see. But the trade here was good. It was like a solid 1 to 2 R. And the reason I had my stop loss there, not my stop loss, sorry, but my take profit, is because of this area over here that you can clearly see. Okay, this small accumulation area, I would call it, where price broke above it, and then it seemed as if it's going to treat that push above that small consolidation as if it was a fake out, because look at the size, like, or the dynamic of this push to the downside, and then it actually just continued to move higher, you know. So obviously this area during all London trading was somehow protected, to say. And right now, it was becoming like a target, a drawn liquidity. Also being very close to the 50% level of that fib over here. But yeah, unfortunately, no entry confirmation for a long trade for now. And unless it would do like a nice pullback and then like a really good rejection, I wouldn't consider entering, not on the 1 minute. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying. Because I haven't looked at your messages yet. Monthly candle closing day, so today we'll create the upper wick. Yeah, that's also a very good observation. It's like the Thank God It's Friday setup, where you're looking at the weekly candle on Friday, which is the last day of the week, and you're thinking that if it's super extended to the upside, then it actually has a lot of chances of creating that upper wick. So meaning that Friday might actually be bearish. It's the same thing with the monthly candle. The last day of the month, last trading day of the month, could be a good opportunity to look for the opposite side of the direction, you know. So if the whole month was like super bullish, then you might actually consider toward the end of the month to look for bearish setups, because it's likely for the monthly candle to create like a upper wick. So yeah, that's also a very good observation. Someone asking me, are you currently still trading on FundedNext or your personal funded account? No, I'm trading with FundedNext. With FundedNext, I really think it's like prop firms. I'm sorry I didn't start earlier, honestly. Hello from Athens. Hello, Athens. Oh my God. The city of Greeks. Not Greeks, of gods. Greek gods. All right. Can I ask a question about Thursday's setup? Of course. Of course. All right, so now I want you to take a look. Like, here's the reason why at this point I'm pretty attracted to this bullish 5-minute fair value gap. Anyway, we'll see what it does. So right now, my idea for a long continuation was already sort of like confirmed by silver, because remember I was saying that I wanted silver to turn this bearish fair value gap into a bullish inversion. This one, the 940 M5. It's successfully done that, like, obviously. but I don't know exactly whether gold is going to create like an entry confirmation. So you know what, I'm also going to mark the current high of New York with SMT buy side. I'm just marking up some of the like obvious levels that both pairs rejected from or reacted from. So we have this SIBI on gold, the 9 a.m., also on silver. And also another, like, you know, I always say remain open to multiple possibilities, because there are just so many ways you could skin a cat. Okay, so many ways you could skin a cat. What I mean by this is that we have buy side higher, we have sell side lower. Okay, silver went under all this area over here, whereas gold didn't even get close to it. Actually, gold got, you know, rejected from this 1 hour busy. At the same time, the overall trend on gold is bullish, so it really makes sense. It would really make sense for gold to continue pushing higher, okay? Especially considering the rejection from the 1 hour fair value gap, the rejection from the midpoint, the, you know, equilibrium of that range starting from the low of the Asia session, and also the SMT that it's clearly forming, with silver sweeping all this area under the Thursday low. I think it was 26th, Wednesday low. Oh goodness. Okay, so a lot of reasons to consider that we could see a continuation upside. At the same time, there's also reasons to consider that price on silver, it's not necessarily sweeping sell side, and that it might actually just break structures to the downside, and that right now every move to the upside that we're going to see could actually be just a pullback, and then it's just going to create another leg lower. So both options are equally valid, equally available, and equally possible based on all the knowledge that we have so far. Okay, doesn't matter if we're using support resistance, doesn't matter if we're using ICT or whatever. The thing is that all the time you're going to see that if you will remain open to the possibility of price potentially going both ways, your mind will stay open to, and your mind will stay open and alert and focused on looking for confirmations that would tell you whether price right now or in the near future will be looking to go up or down. And this way you're helping yourself by remaining open to both possibilities, both bullish and bearish. You're basically just helping yourself by telling your mindset, okay? Telling you, like, your subconscious mind, hey buddy, please keep an eye on confirmations for buys, but also confirmations for sells. And when you're going to see confirmations coming in for either one of these two directions, cross-check with invalidations of the opposite direction. So for example, if right now I would see a confirmation for price to go higher, then my mind would immediately go, okay, so I know that price can go up, but it could also go down. For now, I'm seeing more signs that it might actually want to go up. Is there any sign that could interfere or could block price from continuing to going higher, or from, continuing to form a bullish confirmation or like a bullish setup or something like that? And usually that's going to come in the form of looking for, whether price is going to create bearish SMT, bearish fair value gaps, respect bearish fair value gaps, and so on. Okay, because I just cannot stress this enough. Remember that we are trading lower time frames. Okay, it doesn't matter that we take our overall higher time frame direction from a higher time frame, because that's why it's called a higher time frame direction, right? Or higher time frame trend or bias, whatever, because we're taking that from a higher time frame. But just remember that price can fall 300 pips on a 5-minute chart and your daily trend would still be bullish. Okay, on the 5-minute it could look like a bearish reversal, but on the daily it's still going to look like a very strong bullish trend. Okay, at the same time, just like I always say, transitions from bullish to bearish, or vice versa from bearish to bullish, start to occur first on the lower time frames. So obviously, if the daily trend ought to reverse from bullish to bearish, that would first start to be visible on the 1 minute, and then on the 5 minute, and then on the 15 minute, and then on the 30 minute, and then on the 1 hour, and so on and so forth. So this means that if we are trading small time frames, 1 minute, 5 minutes, okay, if we take our entry confirmation from these small time frames, if these small time frames are the ones that we use to determine where our stop loss is going to be, where our take profit is going to be, okay, then it means that we are short-term traders, scalpers, day traders, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so the thing is that being a scalper or a day trader, you can benefit from the advantages of looking for confirmations that would continue the higher time frame trend, in this case bullish, but at the same time you could benefit from larger pullbacks against the higher time frame trend because you're trading on small time frames. So your stop loss can actually be small, but so should your target, as in not necessarily small in the idea of number of pips, but like if I'm gonna take a trade, okay, like for example this trade, okay, I've spent like about 20 minutes in this trade, okay, about 20 minutes in this short trade. So I'm more talking about like have a realistic expectation in terms of a profit taking, not necessarily in terms of risk or reward, not necessarily in terms of take profit, like number of pips or something like that, but more in terms of how much time are you going to spend in that trade. Because if you're going to enter based on a 1 minute confirmation, and for example, you are in the trade for 2 hours and the market isn't moving too much, you need to reconsider your entry, okay? Because if you took an entry based on a confirmation from the smallest time frame, where we know that on the 1 minute things move the fastest, okay, but somehow this is not actually happening because price isn't moving fast in your favor or against you, it's not moving at all, then you might actually reconsider whether your decision to take a trade was based on, rules that you would normally follow. And maybe reconsider with the lot size and stop loss placement and everything. Maybe even look at whether the time of your entry was during a volatile, time of the day or not. If you're entering on the 1 hour or confirmation on the 1 hour or the 30-minute, okay, and your stop loss and your take profits are placed accordingly based on key levels from the 30-minute or the 1 hour, then it would make sense for you to not necessarily expect for price to move that fast in terms of time, right? So if I'm taking a trade based on a confirmation on the 30 minutes, then I would expect to be like 2 hours, maybe 3 hours into the trade until it's going to reach like a key level that I'm eyeballing on that time frame. Okay? I just want to somehow clarify the fact that in my live streams, you will not always see me or hear me having like a clear bias, or most times you will see me and you will hear me saying that, well, we could have a long trade or we could have a short trade. Price might go up, price might go down. And I really want you to understand that this is the reason why I usually make these claims, why I usually do not come in front of the chart with a bias that I marry with. Okay, just don't marry with a specific bias. Okay, like right now, yes, I would love to see price going down, rebalance this BC, and then move up. Okay, but at the same time, I'm also being aware of the fact that I would have actually loved if when price created this BC on the 1 minute, this one, oh my God. When price created this BC on the 1 minute, I would have actually loved a lot more if not moving too far away from it, it would rebalance it and then reject. So I could have entered somewhere around here. Okay, not necessarily because my stop loss would have been smaller than it could be on the 5 minutes, because I also do understand, and I also advise you to also consider the following. When you're entering on the 1 minute, your stop loss could be smaller. When you're entering on the 5 minute, your stop loss could slightly increase, but it would still have to be placed at a logical level, key level, based on the 5 minute chart or whatever confirmation you're taking from that time frame. The more you increase the time frame of your entry confirmation, the more should your expectation that your stop loss should be bigger, that should also increase accordingly. Okay, so it's not necessarily that I would have wanted to enter on the 1 minute BC because I would have had a smaller stop loss. Not necessarily, but just that it would have given me more room to push higher, you know? Yes, also the benefit of having like a smaller stop loss, but more than that, it would have made sense for price, even if this push to the upside would be just a pullback and it would actually continue to go lower, okay, and sweep more liquidity, it would actually have given me more room to benefit more from that move to the upside, even if it would turn out to be, like I said, a pullback. Okay. So yeah. So right now I'm bias free. How should I say? Bias free. Yeah. Because it really depends on what type of price action will form with every new candle that closes. Every new candle that closes, to me, has the potential, I'm not saying that it does that, but it has the potential of changing my view of where the market might actually tend to go. So for example, I'm just giving you an example, okay? Let's say right now, gold goes down, stops in this BC and then rejects. During that time, silver stays here, okay? And just meanders around. It's not going down, It's not creating a lower low. It's not going into this BC or whatever. It's just staying right where it is. At that point, if that would happen, for example, what I would do, I would go to the 1 minute and see whether on the 1 minute there has been some sort of a structure forming like this, where gold in this push higher created that push to the upside like this on the 1 minute. Okay, silver did the same thing, but gold would actually sweep some of these lows in going down inside this BC on the 5 minute. However, silver would do something like this. It wouldn't actually go, it would just stay here, you know? It wouldn't make this pullback, which on the 1 minute it would create lower lows relative to the lows that we would have on the left side. Okay, so this would be one way that I would look at it. Okay, one option, one possibility. Another possibility would be, for example, for gold to go down, create like a lower low, and then start to reject from there. During this time, silver is just going to stay somewhere inside this BC or this BC over here. Okay, so then I'm also thinking, okay, well then it seems that gold is just sweeping sell side and now it's rejecting, right? And therefore it created a lower low, but silver created a higher low. Okay, so then I would look to buy. I'm also thinking at the possibility of maybe there is like a 15-minute fair value gap. Okay, there isn't. Now, if there isn't, then I go back to the 5 minute. Maybe there's also the possibility where gold comes down into this fair value gap, stays here, and during that time when gold stays here, therefore creating a higher low, silver will actually go lower. Okay, so I would still be looking for a long trade should that happen, and should I see like a rejection candle from silver and also on gold from that BC. So many scenarios to look for a long trade. So far I've enumerated 3, and I've not deviated from my strategy rules, which is I want an SMT and I want a fair value gap and a rejection from the fair value gap, and I've not deviated from none of those. Okay, but there's 3 possible scenarios without actually deviating from your one strategy that just has like 3 lousy rules. SMT, fair value gap, rejection from the fair value gap. Okay, that's it. Now, what would I look for in order to consider that price might actually want to go down right now? Okay, well, I would definitely want, for example, to see one of these 2 pairs, doesn't matter which one, okay, go higher. For example, gold goes up, okay, takes out this minor buy side SMT over here. During this time when gold goes higher, silver stays into one of these SIBIs that it created around here. Okay, so gold creates a higher low, a higher high, silver creates a lower high. Okay, and then I would wait for gold to create a bearish fair value gap because I have the SMT, right? And then I would wait for gold to create a bearish fair value gap, rebalance it, and then reject off of it, right? So this would be a scenario for a short trade. Again, without deviating from my overall strategy, okay? Another confirmation or another, scenario, for example, would be I could go to the 1 minute right now, okay? And I'll see, okay, this high, like what seems to be happening right now? Well, the thing that draws my attention right now, it's the way in which silver, just look at how it created this, like, barcode price action, and then it started to move lower in a decided way. At least on the 1 minute, it really looks decided to go lower. Okay, so then I'm thinking, okay, is there inside this piece of price action, is there some form of SMT that occurred that I could use that to consider that maybe a bearish setup would be forming on the 1 minute? And then obviously I would see this. Okay, so I have gold creating higher highs and then silver creating barcode equal highs. Okay, so then my mind goes, okay, is there any SMT where one pair creates like equal highs and the other pair creates higher highs, and that would indicate a push lower, like a potential setup lower? And then the answer is no, there isn't such an SMT. I mean, there is an SMT where one pair creates equal highs, doesn't matter, 2 equal highs, 3 equal highs, whatever, Okay, you can clearly see they're equal highs relatively, especially when it comes to the bodies of the candles. But the other pair would create a lower high, not higher high. Okay, so in this case, this type of SMT that's being formed here on the 1 minute doesn't exist. Okay, it doesn't exist. So then I say, okay, so 1 minute right now, it's not really telling me anything. Okay, so another option that could occur, another possibility, another shape, form in which price could actually form a bearish setup would be, again, without deviating from my normal SMT plus FEG plus rejection from the FEG, would be, for example, gold staying here inside this SIBI, therefore creating lower high. Okay, silver might actually go higher, okay, than here, higher, creating a higher high and then rejecting, right? So again, I have the SMT, or rather I have the fair value gap, then I would have the SMT, and then I would have the rejection from the fair value gap, while silver would reject from that SMT buy side liquidity, which none of these scenarios, none of these potential scenarios has happened yet. Okay, but what I'm trying to say is remain open to multiple scenarios. Okay, just remain open to multiple scenarios. Okay, so someone asking a question about Thursday setup. Why we had so tight, I think you want to stop loss and wasn't at the highs. It hit stop loss and started going down to our favor. I think that was explained during the live stream on Thursday. There was a bearish order block there on the 1 minute, if I remember correctly, for the Thursday setup. And I've placed my stop loss based on that bearish order block. But, you know, it was my setup. It was not our setup. Okay, guys, really, I want to make this really clear. I'm trading for myself. I'm not trading for you guys. And if you're opening trades based on what I say here, you need to understand it's your decision to take the trade. Okay? It's really your decision to take the trade, and you have to develop this mindset where you where you take full ownership of your actions. Doesn't matter if you are doing what someone else says that they're doing. When I open a trade, I'm not saying, hey guys, open this trade with me. I'm not doing that. And even if I would do that, you have to decide whether you're going to take the trade just because I say so, but you personally have no idea why the trade is being taken, or you don't understand, but you just decide to trust me. Like, come on, I'm just a stranger online. Okay, just don't forget that. Don't forget that. So whatever decision you take to open the trade, you have to take full ownership, because the decision to take the trade is yours. The decision to listen to a stranger online who tells you that they're opening this trade or that trade, and you decide to do the same thing, risking money, okay, many times money that you're not really happy to risk, but you just do it anyway. God knows why. You just really have to develop that mindset where you take full ownership of your actions. And in this case, your action is to decide to listen to a stranger online. Okay? Your action is not to open the trade. Your action is basically the moment when you decided to trust the stranger online without actually backtesting the strategy they're presenting, without none of that stuff. You really shouldn't be doing that. really. It doesn't matter how many trades you see me taking, how many wins, how many losses. You should really still backtest my strategy. Because honestly, the reason why I'm doing these live streams is, first of all, I'm doing them for myself because I want to have the best understanding of my own rules, the best understanding of my own psychology. And truth be told, the best way to understand yourself is to talk about yourself. The best way to understand your strategy is to talk about your strategy. Okay? So if I want to understand myself, psychologically speaking, and if I want to understand my strategy more than I understand it now, I need to talk about it. Okay? And the best way to talk about it is by having an audience, right? The second reason why I'm doing these live streams is because I really wish that when I started trading, there were people online who really showed me how they're doing it with the ups and downs, with the decision-making process. I took this trade, maybe I shouldn't have taken it. Well, my stop loss is too big, let's bring it lower. Oh, I made the decision to bring the stop loss lower, and look, now it took me out by 1 pip and then it started to move back in my direction. Oh my God. You know, all these things. I really wished that there was someone doing this online when I first started. And I know that there were a lot of people doing it online, and there are still a lot of people doing it online. But it's just that at that time, I didn't look where I was supposed to look. Okay, so I just had to go through the journey of discovering, understanding, and right now I consider that I have some basic knowledge about trading, and I want to extend that by talking about it, and maybe, who knows, maybe it's going to help someone else as well. Someone asking me, hello, you're trading supply and demand? No, I'm not trading supply and demand. Okay, so here's the thing. There's not too many people watching the live stream right now. As far as I can see, 46 people watching, 33 likes. Yeah, I think we could actually do a little bit more and have more live streams. Don't you guys think? I'm just saying. Okay. Okay, let's see if something changed on the 15 minutes. Nope, not really. Nothing really changed on the 15 minutes. And when I'm looking on the 15 minutes to see if something changed, I'm basically looking to see whether on the 15 minutes there has been a bullish fair value gap that was created, or maybe even the 30 minutes, or if we are currently rejecting from a fair value gap from the left side. But it doesn't really seem to be the case. I mean, silver's doing a really nice job at breaking Asia low, which was also a SMT sell side area, which, think about it like this: if the low of the Asia session was an area with sell side, okay, and price went through that, retested, and now it seems to be rejecting again, isn't that an indication, not a confirmation, but an indication that price might actually be using the sell side under Asia low to continue pushing lower? So it's using it not to pair it with smart money long orders, okay, but it's actually using it as fuel. Yeah, that could also be an option. Okay, I think I had too much water before the live stream, so I'll be right back, you guys. It won't take long. Just 2 minutes. Back at it. Oh, wow. Look at that move. Look at that move. So now the question is this SIBI on gold still relevant for a possible short? Also, it would be curious to see if gold is going to sweep this high. And in doing that, what is silver going to do right here? Because here's what I see. Currently, I see this. Okay? This is what I see currently. I see silver breaking lower. Okay? I'll just zoom out so you can actually see. And I'm not saying this means anything, okay? I'm seeing silver breaking lower, breaking lower, breaking lower, okay? And with every push to the upside, it's not creating a higher high. It's actually creating a lower high, which means for now, silver is weak, okay? So I'm thinking maybe these pushes to the downside on silver are actually breaks of structures. They're not actually liquidity sweeps, all right? If they're breaks of structures to the downside, okay, then it means that gold could also follow. At the same time, if these on silver are breaks of structures to the downside, are there any other signs of price action on silver that could actually indicate to me that silver might want to continue to go lower? And of course, if I'm going to search for more confirmation that silver might want to go lower, I'm going to find. Also, if I'm going to search for confirmations that it might actually start to go up, I'm also going to find that. Okay, also going to find that. So here's what I'm thinking. Okay, what I incline more to consider, to believe, is the fact that silver is breaking structures to the downside. Okay, like intraday structures, daily structures, because it's breaking session lows and also daily lows. At the same time, it also created FVGs, bearish FVGs, okay? And it also created this SMT, which for now, that's the only thing relevant in here. And if price on silver is going to go above this high, but it will not go above this high over here, what's that, 910, but gold will go above that high, okay, then that's again still, it could still be relevant for maybe looking for short trades. What I don't necessarily like is the way in which gold is creating the bullish fair value gaps, and it's not even rebalancing them, which could be an indication that the buy side is actually stronger. Buy side as in, I don't know, bullish pressure, I don't know how to call it, whatever. But yeah, it's probably going to be one of those days in which price will just continue to move, and that's it. Who knows? without an actual entry confirmation, the way in which I would like to see it. Oh, but of course, there has been like a 1 minute small entry confirmation in here. Very small, but obviously it just becomes visible to my eyes only after it happens. And look at that nice BISI that it rejected off of in here. What was that? 1027 BISI. Seems to be the silver bullet. And this candle, 1030, rejecting from the BISI on gold and also creating the higher low. And the same candle rejecting from that tiny low and also like forming the SMT. So yeah, that would have been like a nice trade over here. Just like that. With a 1 to 2 R by the time it moved into that 5-minute SIBI again. The one that it rejected from the 9 a.m. SIBI on the 5-minute. Yeah, not bad. And it was actually like a textbook confirmation. But yeah, I'm just going to remove that. But it was like a really good one. Now, the thing is that this area right now is minor sell side. Okay, so I'm just going to mark that down. Not necessarily with the expectation that it's going to go for it. Okay? Not at all. Okay, so for now, there is this it would make more sense to take this wait for a bearish fair value gap to form on gold. On the 1 minute, that would suffice. And at the same time, I'd be careful, or I'd be on the lookout to make sure that no SMTs at the low would happen that would indicate a continuation upside. Okay, so 3 more minutes until the current 5-minute candle is going to close. So it's really, really important what will happen with this fair value gap over here. It's extremely important what will happen with this fair value gap in here. Okay, and the 1 minute can actually have a lot to say about what's going to happen with that fair value gap, whether it's going to continue to act as a resistance or not, or if it's going to be turned into a bullish inversion. And the reason why this fair value gap is extremely important is because it's the last PD array that price rejected from and created the most relevant move that occurred prior to the one we're currently seeing now. Okay, so it goes like this. I want to know at all times if this push to the upside is the intention of smart money to really continue to go higher, or if it's just a manipulation and it was just a pullback and a buy-side sweep. Okay? And the reason why this fair value gap is extremely important in this, like I said, it's because this is where the last relevant move left from. Why is that move relevant? First of all, because it went down into discount. Second, because it was happening starting at a relevant hour, okay, 9:20, just like 10 minutes before market open. Third, it was a rejection, very obvious one, with speed and distance moving away from a PD array, which is what? That fair value gap, the 9 fair value gap. Also, it took out sell side, okay? Not just relatively equal low sell side, but also session sell side, which is what? The low of the London kill zone, this one over here, okay? Also, that's where this push to the downside originated from. And this push to the downside is that important because it actually created the higher time frame SMT that we are looking at, which is this one. Gold created a higher low, silver created a lower low. Okay, so that's why that fair value gap is extremely important. So whatever will happen to that fair value gap, it's going to indicate what's going to happen next, what will price do next. Whether that fair value gap is going to be invalidated, the 5-minute, or if price is going to push above it. So if it's going to push above it and turn it into a bullish inversion, then that settles, right? But if price, it settles what? It settles the fact that we're actually going to see it move higher, which is exactly what's going on right now. If that fair value gap would continue to be respected, then the thought or the possibility that this is just a liquidity sweep and that it's actually then continuing to push lower, to continue to move lower, that would actually make more sense. Okay? So for now, I wouldn't consider that this fair value gap, this one on the 5-minute, was inverted. I mean, yes, we can see price closed above its midpoint with this previous candle on the 5 minutes. But it's just not convincing enough. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Alex, do you still play the midnight hour holiday setup in gold? No, I've actually haven't done that in quite a while, you know. Someone's here watching from India. Hello. Hello, hello from India. Always hear the sirens in the background. Do you live near a hospital? Yeah, I actually do. Live near a hospital. There is actually a hospital right across the street. But I don't think that the sirens are from, going to the hospital, because the hospital next to me, or across the street, it's more like not a emergency hospital or something like that, but it's quite like a main boulevard, and it's a link between one side of the city and another side of the city, so probably that's why there is a lot of traffic, unfortunately. But yeah, plus it's a really cool, not cool, but it's a really nice temperature right now outside, so I'm keeping the door open, so it's even more noise, but I just enjoy like the air. It's not fresh air, but still it's like a nice temperature outside, because springtime, like it's been spring for a month already, but not really feeling it in the temperature, because it was really cold the other days. Two more minutes. 2 minutes and a half until the current 1 hour candle. 30 minutes and 15 minutes is going to close. And oh my god, just look at it. Look at the way it looks like. If we could get gold to sweep this area and then reject, that would be like an amazing opportunity. It's a short, but honestly, by looking at how it's creating these bullish fair value gaps, I don't know, but we'll see. It's also getting a little late here, you know. 11 a.m. See, this is the kind of price action that I don't like, especially when it happens on the 1 minute, because it seems that it's not doing a lot, you know, but it has like a really organized behavior in going up, you know. But the problem to me is that it isn't creating any bullish fair value gaps. It just keeps on, you know, creating bullish order blocks and then retesting them and then rejecting from them. And I'm just not an order block trader. So because I'm not an order block trader, I don't necessarily trust my ability to spot order blocks, especially on the 1 minute, you know. But I do trust my ability to spot those fair value gaps that would actually make sense to take a trade from. And right now, the area where I'd like to see a fair value gap forming, either bullish to consider that it's gonna want to continue pushing higher after inversing this 5-minute SIBI, or bearish as a, you know, sign that the 5-minute SIBI will keep on acting as a resistance. None of this is happening, you know, so it's weird for me. For the things that I look for, you know, considering the things that I look for to take a confirmation, it's not helping me. So yeah, it's also going to be interesting to see this candle over here. This I would call it, let's say, bearish order block, even though a lot of you are going to say, well, about a bearish order block, it's usually a bullish candle. And I agree. I'm more looking at the wick, the upper wick. Plus, this is where the push to the upside happened, and then it got broken to the downside, and it also led to the creation of this SMT. But anyway, we'll see. The thing is that right now, gold just keeps on, you know, going higher, 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 slowly but surely, whereas silver seems to be doing the same thing, but it's actually just flat, you know. And this area is this area. So it might seem that silver found a resistance, whereas gold just keeps on extending higher. So now the question is this push to the upside real on gold, or is it just a manipulation? Okay, and that's what you need to always ask yourself. Are these two correlated, to consider that they both move in tandem? Yes, they both want to move higher. Yes, they both want to move lower. Or does one look too extended compared to the other? Which means that it could actually, like the one that looks too extended, could actually be overbought. My view on BTC, I don't know. I don't have a view on Bitcoin. I don't think that anyone should trade cryptocurrencies. My opinion, okay? It doesn't have to be an accurate one. I don't think that anyone should trade cryptocurrencies like they traded them, or trade them with leverage. I don't think. It's like, to me, it's easier for me to consider it like a long-term investment. Which means that if I view it as a long-term investment, I'm not going to be attracted to analyze its price action, because I usually trade short term. Short term. And considering that Bitcoin to me is like a long-term investment, I don't know. I don't consider relevant making an analysis on its price action. Oh my God. Really, really, like a Monday. You can see it's a Monday right now. All right, guys, I'm in this. Let's see how it goes. Stop loss is quite small, as you can see. So, actually going to put stop loss above this very shorter block. This one. So it's going to be 21, 24, sort of like that. It's probably a bad call, but still, stop loss is quite small, and I think it's just going to take me out fast. Maybe you're wondering why I'm inclining more towards like a short trade, a short setup. Everything to me looks at this point like a market maker sell model, where we had the consolidation, the run to resistance. Resistance is right here. Okay. Then the smart money reversal. Smart money reversal means what? S&P. Okay. Smart money reversal, and then we're going to have the distribution, and then I'm just eyeballing this area right here. Maybe this is not the best entry that I could have taken, because considering that considering that I'm seeing this more on the 15 minutes, 30 minutes, looking at a confirmation on the 1 minute probably is not the best decision. Also right now looking at this BISI forming, but we'll see. Even if it takes me out right now, which it didn't do yet, but it's probably going to do it because it already closed above the midpoint of this bearish order block. The 1104 candle. Yeah, it took me out. I'm still gonna look for a short entry. Okay, so I'm still gonna look for a short entry. But most likely, it would be wiser of me to wait for price to either have a more relevant buy side sweep or like a change of character, as in something like this. But I'll see. Oh wow, look at that. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so it's really going to be interesting to see what it's going to do now after taking out or after creating like a new daily high. My watch says time to drink some water. Why did you try taking that setup? Did it present your usually checkbox ideas? Yes and no. I didn't see the usual confirmation ideas usually wait for. It only presented a divergence but no FVG. I don't know if you paid attention, but I had an order block marked when I took the entry, and I also said it was the 1104 candle, a bearish order block, this one right here. Okay, and at the time, considering how this 5-minute candle was looking like, this one, like, it was worth to take the risk, so I considered giving the small stop loss. How many trades are you planning to take per day, or do you have a daily quota? So I don't necessarily look at a specific number of trades, but I do look to make anywhere between 1 to 3%. But my usual average win, or I don't know how to call it, yeah, is usually around 1% per day. The earlier trade gave me exactly, I'm going to tell you, it gave me exactly $1,309, out of which you subtract the $5 commission, so I was left with $1,304. So out of 50,000, which is my account, that ended up being almost 3%, like 2.6%, I think. So don't consider, or like, that this short trade that I took here was it took here, let me, $108 from me. So it took $108, which is really nothing. Okay, I'm gonna try this one more time. Small lot. Hold on. 0.2. Just for fun trade. Okay. So buy side sweep. Bearish FVG. Rebalance. And then rejection. And at the same time, I liked that we didn't, or it didn't only give like the 5-minute, 15-minute SMT, which is here. Okay, but it also created this minor 1-minute SMT here. So let's see, that's how much, like 42 pips, something like that. The only concern would be this busy 1109 busy. So that would pretty much be the only concern. And it might actually be like a very valid concern. So we'll see. So if this goes to stop loss, it's going to be another, oh my god, let me check here, stop loss, $86 loss for me. So the point is that if you've reached the target that you're happy with, monetary wise, you have to, okay, so right now it's not aligning really nicely with silver right now, going above there, you see? Whatever. Nice. Wouldn't the second trade that you lost be counted as over trading since you have already reached over 1%? I don't, so here's the thing. The trades, so the second trade that I took, which is this short one in here, okay? The one that initially, you know, just a few minutes ago, it hit stop loss, including the one that I just took right now, okay? I don't consider these things over trading because they're not actual trades, okay? Because I'm not risking what I would normally risk, okay? I normally risk 1% per trade, right? With the first trade that I took, I risked $100 plus the commission. So that's like 0.2%. Yeah, 0.2%. So it's not per se like a trade where I aim to make money, okay? Therefore, I'm risking some serious funds or whatever, okay? More like paper trades, if you want. They're like 2 years ago. I'll explain where this is coming from. 2 years ago, I went to Trading Nuts podcast. And right there, I told him my view about the two psychologies, the two personalities that live inside a trader's mind. It's the first personality who is the trader. That is the personality that wants to make money, okay? That personality of yours trades because they want to make money. So they're not really interested, or at least in my head, they're not really interested. Someone tells me that there's no more image. Is that real? Is it true? No, actually, I see there is image. Okay, so that personality is like the trader personality is that part of me who trades because it wants to make money, to pay for the bills, to fund the lifestyle, whatever, whatever, whatever. So I'm not, that part of me is not necessarily interested in making money with a lot of pips, okay? That part of me wants to get in and out of the market as fast as possible, okay? Risk an average amount of money, win an average amount of money, and then I'm done for the day because I've covered for that amount of money that I'm aiming to make per day or whatever. Okay, so it's the part of me that wants to make money. I'm trading, that part of me trades because it wants to make money, right? So when that goal of making a specific amount of money is reached, I would stop risking more amounts of money that are relevant. Okay, the other personality is a technical analyst. Okay, so the technical analyst in me, which is another side of me that I cannot ignore, the technical analyst inside of me wants to trade because it wants to be right. It wants to see the market move. It wants to make sure that it found or, created or understood a strategy, a trading strategy that actually works. So it's more like an ego, okay? An egotistical part of me as a trader. So that part of me, the technical analyst, that personality, is not interested to make money because that part was already covered, because that's a priority for me as a trader a whole, So I've already covered the part where I made money. That was taken care of by that personality inside of me, which is the trader. Now, the other part, which is also a necessity, okay, the technical analyst in me wants to analyze, to still see whether, okay, this could still have a potential to do this or to do that. I want to see if I'm right or not. Okay, so right now, I am not urging to make money. So I know that it doesn't matter if I'm going to see a setup. I'm not going to jump in a trade to make money, therefore recklessly risking my funds. That's not going to happen. Why? Because I've already made more than I set myself to do today. So I'm 110% sure that I will not risk not even a quarter of that amount of money that I've already made for the day. Okay. But there is still that part of me who still sees an opportunity for price action to behave in a certain way. So because of that, I allow, if you want, the technical analyst part of me to do its thing, which is what? Still analyze price action, still take a setup, but with a tiny lot size, okay? So that it can still feel that, okay, if I see a setup, I'm courageous enough to take it, right? I'm not just going to put a paper trade. I'm courageous enough to take it. But at the same time, I'm not risking money, or at least, not like relevant amounts of money, because I'm not aiming to make money. I'm aiming to take a trade, which is just my necessity at this point to see whether my strategy is telling me right. It's telling me the correct thing that it might happen next in the chart. Okay? I don't know if it makes sense. But, if you're going to go like on YouTube and you're going to look for, search something like Alex Lara Trading Nut, you're going to find the podcast from Traded Nut where I've actually explained this. So basically, I don't consider it over trading because these trades, I don't necessarily consider them trades with the purpose to make money. Okay? They're just setups that are taken with the purpose to highlight whether my strategy works or not. I know it does, but it's that part of me, the technical analyst, who wants to take this, okay? But the part of me that wanted to make money, it's already taken care of. Okay. So the first SMT, sell side, it's right here, okay? 3111-ish. Hence why my TP would be there. Of course, it could reject from this little low, but I'm thinking that if it's going to break that, especially if it's going to close under it, then that's going to be like a pretty good indication that it could actually continue to move lower. So, yeah, we'll see. I'm just going to drag this for now like that. Yeah. See, right now, that part of me, which is the technical analyst, is somewhat smiling, you know? So this kind of setup gives me somewhat of a, it's like a confidence builder, I would say. Even if right now it's gonna start to move opposite to me, I know it can do this because I see this right now. Okay, I see this. I am really aware that this thing exists. So the result of the current trade could actually change in a few seconds. Okay, where silver only came down to sweep this minor intermediary low, it's rejecting, maybe on the 5-minute it has whatever BISI in here, and it also created the SMT on the 1-minute, and maybe right now it's going to start to move higher. Okay, that's also a possibility. However, there's that part of me right now, technical analyst, that doesn't really care. Right now, I consider myself like satisfied with having taken this trade, even if it only went like 1 hour for now. Okay, so right now this would be like a 1 hour trade. Okay, 1 hour. There you go. 45 pips risk, 45 pips of profit. Okay, ish. 43 risk, 45 profit, whatever. So technical analyst and me satisfied. Trader already took care of the, you know, making money part. So yeah. Exactly. It's a confidence building exercise with very low risk. Okay? How do I know this will drop? I don't know. I don't know it will drop. Maybe it's not going to drop further than it already did. You know? But I don't care anymore. But, you know, just to explain, okay, one more time, the reason why the trade was taken. We had SMT buy side being taken out. So if you go to the 5-minute, you're going to see we had this SMT, gold created higher high, silver created lower high. Okay, so that's one. Okay, then we had another minor SMT here. So after gold took out that SMT buy side, it then created this SIBI 1114 M1 candle, went up, rejected, and it also created this minor M1 SMT here. Okay, where at the time gold was creating a lower high because it was rejecting from this FVG that it created after it took out SMT buy side, whereas silver was creating these relatively equal highs here. So silver was creating like equal highs. Remember, we talked about it a little earlier, right? That type of SMT where so one pair creates equal highs, the other pair creates a lower high. Okay, this one. So this indicates like weakness, where it shows something like, well, gold is weak, can't go any further up because that's why it's creating a lower high in here on the 1-minute. Whereas silver, it's creating, it found resistance. Okay, that's like how you interpret this type of SMT. And as I said, it might not continue to push any lower, but I just don't care. Like, I feel completely satisfied with the way today went from a trading perspective, technical analysis perspective, everything. Curious to see what it's going to do inside this once it reaches into this 5-minute FEG here, this one. Curious to see that, because that also overlaps with the 15-minute FEG and a 30-minute FEG. But my expectation, honestly, is that it's just going to keep on dropping, because look at this move from the left side. It was heavily bullish. Okay, just look at how the candles look like. You see? Like strong bullish candles. And right now, it seems as if price wants to push through those by just creating candles, but right now to the downside, that look somewhat similar in size and speed and distance to these which were going initially up, and right now it's just doing the same. It's like if you want to break a wall that's really strong, you really want to go all in, you know? I hope it makes sense, guys. I really hope it does. I don't know. To me, all these things, they make a lot of sense, but maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm not explaining them the way it would make sense for a lot of you. So if that's the case, you can just go ahead and let me know. Okay? Just ask questions in the comments. The more questions you ask, you're also, you know, helping me maybe discover more than I should, understand more from whatever it is going on. Lenny is asking, how do you confirm SMT? Well, you confirm SMT through a fair value gap. A fair value gap confirms an existing SMT, or an existing fair value gap is confirmed by an SMT. So, for example, dear Lenny, you're either going to have usually one of the following two situations. Okay, you're either going to have gold will create a higher high, silver will create a lower high. Okay, so you have the SMT now. Okay, at the highs, SMT at the highs usually indicates a possibility of going down. Okay. So if gold creates a higher high while silver creates a lower high, you have the SMT first. It's the SMT that appears. And then to confirm that this SMT is real, you would want gold to create a bearish fair value gap. Okay? And at that point, the fair value gap, which would be formed after the SMT, would confirm the SMT. Okay? And then you could have the other possibility in which gold makes a drop and it created some form of bearish fair value gap here to the left side. And then it goes up into that SMT, okay? Therefore, it creates a lower high, okay? So you have the SMT, the fair value gap, which already exists, but you don't know if it will keep price from going higher, if price will reject from it. And what will usually confirm that fair value gap, it's going to be an SMT, a later SMT. So in this case, as gold goes up into this fair value gap and stops there, doesn't go any further up, therefore it creates a lower high. During the same time, silver creates a higher high. Okay, so you're going to have the fair value gap right now, which was the first one that appeared. Now it's being confirmed by the SMT. Okay, and then you're just waiting for a rejection from that SMT, from that fair value gap, a rejection candle. So yeah, mainly this is like in just a few, you know, terms, words, whatever. Okay, so see, really fast, almost 2R with this trade. Almost 2R until it would reach this area. But right now, my technical analyst in me wants to put stop loss to break even. But you know what? I'm just going to leave it here. But on my account, I'm going to put it to break even. Okay. Okay. But here in TradingView, I'm going to leave it where it is, just because I'm later going to take a screenshot of this and put it to Instagram, whatever. Okay, but just so you know, for this trade, I've already secured stop loss at break even. Okay, let's see. How will this go all the way down? How will it go all the way down? Well, it's just gonna go down. Someone's saying, I actually also took the sell, but on a higher level. I included RSI divergence. Oh, okay, very good. If you know why you took the trade, congratulations. It's the most important thing, you guys, is to know why you take the trade. Okay? That's the most important part. To know why you took the trade. Because if you know why you took a trade, if your trade is going to be a losing trade, you will know what you did. Therefore, you will know what to look at to see what you could improve for the next time. Also, if your trade is going to be a win and you know why you took the trade, so you know why you won, then you're going to be able to replicate. You will know how to replicate that in the future. Okay? I took your teaching to literally, I don't just blindly follow, but I went back testing and come to stream to confirm with you. It's a really good strategy. Thank you, Alex. It's my pleasure, and I'm really happy that it's working, that it's clicking for you. So that's really awesome. 39 people watching. Well, less than usual, but that's fine. 41 people watching. If there's anyone who is new to the stream and didn't like the stream yet, I would really, really appreciate it if you would hit that thumbs up button so that it actually, yeah, you're helping the growth of my channel. Thank you if you're doing that. So yeah, thank you. So yeah, hit the like button. Woo. Oh my God, do you guys want to meet someone? Look what I had here. Her name is Trisha. Hello, Trisha. Say hello to the chat. Hi, everyone. You're here with my Meowmy? With my Meowmy? Yeah. I don't think she wants to stay here. She's hungry, I think, so yeah. Oh my God! Woohoo! Going nicely. So right now it would be like a solid 2R. And that would make it, for now, 85 pips. Nice, nice, nice. Very, very nice. And what I like about it is that this is no longer like a SMT here, you see? But still taking in the possibility that it could actually reject from here. Why? Because it reached into this M5, M15, and 30, whatever, BISI. But you know, still looks primed to go lower. At least silver. I mean, silver is definitely here for the drop. Definitely. Anyway, so you guys, let's just put this where it was here. So you guys, you can see that trading can be simple, but it's not easy. Okay? Trading can and should be simple, but definitely not easy. The simple part comes from the fact that if you have a clear set of rules that it's simple for you to understand, then it's going to make trading simple for you because you're just going to wait for step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, whatever. So it's really simple to trade when you know what you're looking for. Okay? And knowing what you're looking for means to have like an edge. Okay? Edge as in proven set of rules, proven strategy that works and that you understand and that you're attracted to enough so that you can ignore everything else that happens. Every other concept, whatever. Okay? So this is what makes trading simple. The reason, however, why even though trading is supposed to be, and it can be simple, why it will never be easy is because you have to have a lot of control in here in your mind. Okay? Don't talk yourself in or out of a trade without knowing why. Don't talk yourself into risking too much, thinking that, or ignoring the risk part, but only focusing on the win part, thinking, well, it has 100 pips still in here. If I'm going to take like 3 standard lots, I'm just going to make $3,000. Yeah, okay, you're going to make, you could make $3,000, but at the same time, how much is your stop loss? Because maybe, I don't know, maybe your stop loss is like $1,000 and you just don't afford to lose $1,000. Financially, you can't afford it, and neither maybe mentally you can't afford it. Okay? So you really have to have like control of your mind, of your thought process. So that's why it's never going to be easy. It's doable, but not easy. But the good part is that even though it's not easy, it's also not impossible. It's totally possible. Okay? That's the best part. So someone's saying about my cat, I hope she didn't accidentally enter trades for you. She did this one time. She did it. Yeah. Alex, your entry was at the second consecutive bearish candle. You could say that. I've actually entered more like on an impulse, I would say. Once price was, going under this minor little low over here. The lowest low, this one. The lowest low in between the 2 highs that form the SMT. It's like, you could consider it a breaker if you want. You could consider it a bearish breaker. But technically speaking, the entry should have been once we only had like one rejection candle, especially because, the 1117 candle, especially because looking at it on silver was also like a bearish candle, which seemed to be forming that resistance in here. Okay. So yeah. Nice trade, you guys. Nice trade. Okay. Was it a winning trade that the cat helped open? No, it was actually a losing trade. It wasn't a win. Okay, you guys. So I'll keep the trade open, okay? Because it, just for my ego. I'll consider it a win. Doesn't matter if it's going to take me out of break even. So yeah, I guess I'll talk to you tomorrow. Okay. So tomorrow, same hour, around 9 a.m. New York time. Okay. Thank you also for your time. Thank you guys for being here. If you didn't like the stream, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you have fellow traders who would actually, find valuable stuff in my live streams, you can go ahead and share my channel with them. So yeah, talk to you guys tomorrow.